All right. Let me see. Let me see. I want to make sure y'all can hear me clearly. Um, that's the first thing. I want to make sure that you guys can hear me pretty clearly. I want to say good afternoon, of course, good evening. I don't know where you are in the world. Good day. This is Throwback Thursdays. This is a political video, of course. We're gonna compare errors, and this is a comparison of both political parties, the PNP and the JLP, and especially how they present themselves in Parliament. Right? This is a comparison of that. All right. So we're gonna go into this video right here. Um, Let me share my screen. First, we're gonna go back, and then we're gonna go forward. Of course. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Hold up. Back on the road again. That's not it. That's not it. Where is it? What happened to my video? Oh, former DPP. Oh, that's the one. Okay, my bad. Boom. Shout out to this content creator right here, Mr. Lonesome. Fair use, fair use. This is for documentation and educational purposes, of course. I encourage each and every one of y'all to go and check him out if you want to know. He really is involved and goes in with the knowings and the goings of politics here in Jamaica. And he's an elder, of course. And from what I've seen and heard about him, his reputation speaks for itself. He did a video the other day that I came across where he presented the Honorable PJ Patterson, former Prime Minister. What's going on, Mob? Salute to you, my brother. The former Prime Minister of Jamaica exit speech, right? And I just want to go over this video with y'all so you could see the mannerisms, the behavior, the decorum of the political members of parliament on both sides of the spectrum here in Jamaica in the past and what it's like in the present. Just how they deal with each other. And I think it's going to be a good show. I think it's going to be a great show. I think it's going to be great content. It's going to really open the eyes of the people, in my opinion, when I finish breaking this down, to show you, man, there is a stark difference between the politicians of old, how they, carried themselves, how they dealt with each other. Oh, you want the new link? My new channel, it's pinned at the top. I should have said that first. Thank you, CX. It's called Bolo Clips. I got a video over there. Mob, if you're still here, you can go check out my new channel. It's pinned in the comment section, at the top of the comment section on both of my channels. We're live on Bolo Live Show and Bolo VNR. And Bolo Clips is going to be the channel where I clip up, different things from different videos that's already, old videos and stuff like that. I want to put a disclaimer out there to people. There's going to be clips of past situations with beef and stuff like that, and it's just part of Bolo Clips. So I don't want it to be misconstrued that I am trying to stir up beef or anything. I'm not trying to do that. All right. When those clips come out, they'll come out via the order in which I'm going from video to video to edit videos and post them out. All right. So it's not to rehash anything that anyone had. That is not my intention. This is strictly content. It's content on my page. And Bolo Clips. Bolo Clips is the clips of Bolo VNR and Bolo Live Show. All right. That's what it is. And for every video on Bolo clips, you're going to see the link to the actual video of the source of the clip. So you guys can go back and say something there might interest you, like, damn, wait a minute. I never knew this happened. You know what I mean? So that's what we're doing. But without any further ado, shout out to CX, shout out to Mob. Let me play the music in the background. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's get it. And let's get into this content, man. We ain't gonna be long with it. I'm gonna go through this as fast as possible. An hour to an hour and a half tops. Let's get it.
The Senate. It is virtually of representatives.
I'm not sure about we leader. Now watch this.
Members of the Honorable House of Representatives and members of the Senate. It is virtually impossible for me to find words that are eloquent enough to express the sense of pride I feel as I prepare to depart from the public stage by this occasion and the tributes which have been paid to me this afternoon from both sides and both houses of Parliament.
You know, this Mr. PJ Patterson, the Honorable PJ Patterson, one thing I could say about him that I remembered, he was always so very eloquent with his speech. Like, he really is a speaker. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely has that talent. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Just listen to him.
I do not believe that in all the years since 1962, there has ever been a joint session of both houses where members of both the Senate and the House can be heard at the same time. Indeed, those of us who once belonged to the upper house and were promoted by being kicked downstairs to the House of Representatives remember too well the occasions when we are assembled for the opening of Parliament, and we have as the lesser folk to wait outside until the bigger folks invite us to join them. I must say it gave me some sense of satisfaction that today I was able to pass them all gathered outside, and it needed a motion to allow them to enter this house and to be heard. There has never been a gathering like this, including so many of our past parliamentarians. Those who served when I first entered Parliament, those who have served during my tenure as Prime Minister, and even those, and especially those, I want to welcome and acknowledge, those who served in either chamber.
Yo, shout out to you, CX. Thanks for subbing up, man. Salute. And of course, thanks to Mob in advance. I know he definitely subbed up as well. Shout out to Mob.
During the period when I was not a member of the legislature.
For the people just coming in, remember I have a new channel called Bolo Clips. The link is pinned at the top. I have the link to the new video and also to this channel itself. So remember to go sub up, all right? And you'll find the link in the description as well for the new channel. And at the end of the video, I will definitely be posting it in the comment section, all right? So check it out there as well. Let's get it.
At all. I hope, however, Mr. Speaker, I'll be pardoned for singling out for special mention our former Governor General and himself a legendary parliamentarian, the Most Honorable Sir Howard.
Do y'all see? I want y'all to take a look at this picture right here, right? On both sides of the Parliament, you see how everybody is seated, paying attention. You know what I'm saying? Nobody. There is respect in the room. All right. You can see it from the body language. You can see it from the facial expressions. And I'm gonna play a clip that's shorter than this one. That is an example of the stark difference of what you're seeing right now. But let's continue.
Well, I'm not stopping people, but you hear when you used to have parliament sound though.
Today's the day when we're giving out secrets.
You heard what Mr. Lonesome said. He said, you see the difference of how Parliament used to sound. And that's the main reason why he played this clip. Because of what's going on right now here in Jamaica in Parliament between our government officials. It's pretty much a disgrace. Compared to what we had like this before, even when they disagreed in such a way that they had class, man. They had class. Even when, like, especially around this time, I remember very vividly with the PMP, they was in power for 18 years, you know. Mr. Patterson was in power for a very long time. And just, my father was definitely, you know, and is definitely, you know, a supporter of Mr. P.J. Patterson. He absolutely loved that man. And the reason why is my father loves to read the dictionary. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he's the type of person that articulates himself in such a way. That's Mr. Patterson. He articulates himself in such a way that a person like my dad is drawn to people like that because they love words and, you know, new words and meaning. It's exciting for him to go in the dictionary and look up a new word and a new meaning just to apply it into real life. You know what I'm saying? So you could just listen to Mr. Patterson, and if you really listen to him carefully in his presentations, oh, bro, listen, man, he's smooth. Pause. No Diddy, bro. His linguistic skills, his articulation, he's a smooth operator. All right? I could definitely give him that. Definitely give him that.
The truth can now be told. On at least one occasion, when he was present at a party political function, as a founding member of the party. In fact, when we were serving our 60th, when we were celebrating our 60th anniversary. Fortunately, I was standing really to his immediate left. And when a certain song commenced and we came to land of my birth, I had to assault the Governor General by making sure that his hand did not appear. Mention was made of the fact that
you see there is a decorum in the room. You understand what I'm saying? The way they're dressed, everything, like, man, this was probably the golden age. It says, salute pops, me too, love reading and knowing. Yeah, my pops definitely like that, man. That is a great quality that he has. He loves to read. He loves to read the dictionary specifically. I mean, I don't know a lot of people that like to read the dictionary. And my father is not a nerd. He's not a nerd. But, you know, he just loves to do that. You know. And this is his guy, man. Mr. Honorable P.J. Patterson. This is his guy. He definitely loves this brother right here. For sure.
the Most Honorable Edward Siaga first became a member of Parliament on the 10th of April 1962.
You see how he goes down. Mr. Edward Siaga is the opposing leader that he goes against. He gave respect to the the Governor General, and now the opposition. He just goes down the line, and it's not because it's his closing speech. They've had battles. They've had debates, real debates about policy. But the respect in the room never left. The decorum never left. All right? You see how they zoomed in on Mr. Siaga, right? Edward Siaga, rest in peace. You see how they zoomed in on him? And that's the governor general beside him in the glasses right there. Yeah, man, this is how he used to be. You said from a kid, you always seen your mom look up so-called big words. Man, I'm trying to tell you.
And as I think I've said to him since then, it's been the best reminder of the consequences of defeat and how not to spend one's birthday. Because I very well recall having assembled the food, the drink, and the appropriate company to celebrate that birthday. The food went untasted, the liquor had to be left for another day's consumption, and I have concluded from that it is always better to win than to lose. Mr. Speaker.
Yo, no, he's listen. He's throwing light jabs. All right, he's showing light jabs because in terms of the elections, Mr. PJ Patterson has most of the time, bettered his opponent because he's a winner. Like he was consistently in consistent terms behind each other was the prime minister of the country. So he's one of the baddest. If Mr. Patterson never aged, I don't think they could get him out of power. If he was an android, lived forever, was young, vibrant, and just running the country, I don't think there would ever be a time when he was voted out of office. The man was just too smooth. He was really a people person. He was loved by both sides of the spectrum. He dealt with people, on each side as people. So he has the respect of his colleagues and his opponents. You understand? He's what you call a silent assassin. All right? He doesn't say much, but when he speaks, it's very loud. And then, when he acts is effective. It's very effective. You know what I'm saying? So, man, he was a bad man. He was a bad man.
You must take note that present among us are representatives of the judiciary at the highest level.
You're the HR manager, and you need to correct a big payroll.
Come on.
4 new hires
A profession from which I happen.
Now, look at this. This is why we need to move away from the Queen, the whole constituency. Like, this is ridiculous, man. Why these men have to wear this shit, man? Oh, my goodness. It's just horrible. Colonialism, we need to get rid of that, boy. Lord have mercy.
Because them judiciary used to look at the highest level. So
Exactly. Look how they looked. I don't like that.
Just a look.
To come in terms of the law, but a profession to which I do not intend to return. Our privy councillors are also in attendance.
Oh, and Mr. Patterson definitely aged gracefully, because being a leader of a country, especially Jamaica or any country, it's very stressful, especially with the multiple challenges that you have to take care of. But I think this Mr. Patterson is a great delegator. He knows how to delegate very well and put the right persons in place to be effective. So that is a telltale sign of a great leader when you can do that, because that helps you to run whatever operation you're running way better, because you're now putting you find a way to find the right people to put your trust in. You know what I'm saying? And that is a skill within itself. I'm telling you.
And it is almost impossible for me to believe that sitting in the well of the court is my son, Richard, who seems to think that politics is an affliction which must be avoided at all costs.
Hey, that's his son. Wow, his son is a Rasta. So his son, I know Rastafarians, yeah, they definitely don't like politics. So I never knew his son was a Rasta. No wonder the PNP always had, an affiliation to Rastafari. They had a member of parliament. I don't think he's there anymore. That was once a Rasta, and he cut his hair off. So they've been they have some good qualities about them, the PNP, in that regard. In terms of embracing Rasta, and as far as the legalization of ganja, it was the PNP, and I don't think the needle has been moved. And then Mr. Mark Golden has spoken about, even Mr. Dwayne Vaz, I heard, spoke about when they win the next election, general election, growing cannabis and making it more easier to get the license to do it so they can have more farmers so as to tap into the world market is going to be a focus. So, hey, that's a great thing. That's definitely a positive thing. The UIC definitely in their plan has the the cannabis as a part of the main push to boost the economy as well. So it's not like I'm saying PNP is the only one or anything. Or I already told people, like, the UIC is my preference, but Mr. Peter Chambers laid down the prophecy and has prophesied that the PNP is going to win. So I can't go against God. It is what it is.
We see the man in favor and go. Make them go and talk.
As has been acknowledged, this is not an obituary. I am not prepared to say that the best is yet to come, but you can't do a final summation until the journey of life is complete. And certainly, I have not heard, coming from anybody who has spoken, an invitation to reconsider my decision, which is final, irrevocable, and irreversible. I'm going to tell another story. In 1992, on my way to party headquarters, as I was about to enter my car and drive down the gateway, I received a note from the then chairman of the Jamaica Labour Party, commiserating with me on my departure from the cabinet. And it was in that note, there was contained the phrase, which I use at party headquarters. He said, "Remember General MacArthur." And I left knowing for sure what the headline.
That's Mr. Golden. No, what am I talking about? He's also a prime minister. He was a former prime minister of the country for a brief time. Damn, I'm forgetting his name. Oh, man. My bad, man. No disrespect, but it's escaping me right now. And look, that's the opposition. Look, those are genuine. Like there was a saying one time that the government, they go in debates and they go really hard at each other in the debates, and when they done, they all have dinner together. That's how the relationship of the parliamentarians on both sides was, as I could remember. Why, we never trusted them. Well, I know I didn't. I never trusted them because I just thought, man, these two parties out here just shamming us. They're really friends. Damn, it might have been true. They really friends, low key. They're not trying to, really go at each other hard. Pause. No diddy. They're not really trying to work for the people per se. Like, the opposition should definitely go at the party in power when they're not doing their work. You know what I'm saying? I just thought that it was like passive. I think it was too passive. That's just my opinion. And I thought, yeah, all of them is just shamming us, man. And it's a 3-card man type of thing. That's what I always thought. You know what I'm saying? That's what I always thought. And yeah, you know, shoot, just look at them there, man. Look at those smiles, man. Look at the people on both sides, man.
You know, Mr. Speaker.
At no point has he spoken and anybody has interrupted him. The level of respect is what I'm really trying to punch that in. Listen, look, observe.
I got a little uncertain exactly what Ernie Smith was going to say. He didn't go into some areas where Portia was not afraid to tread. But he did say something about don't count your money when you're sitting at the table. He didn't go on to the other part of it. There's time enough for counting when the day is done. And I've always applied that to politics. That's why when I had the final meeting of the NEC to announce the date for the elections, I said to them, don't watch the crowd. Because there are some people who were appearing at 4 places at different times, provided there were no clashes. Of presence in a particular area. And I've always said, you don't know what the outcome will be until the final night when each box is counted and a winner is declared. Let me, Mr. Speaker, thank not only those who have made tributes, and I suspect that...
Oh, man, I'm over here talking the whole time. My microphone was off. My bad, y'all.
The new crop notwithstanding, everybody would have wished, if given the opportunity, to have said something and to make a contribution to this particular resolution. But some of it need not be done in public. And if there are any incursions into a house in the constituency of North Central St. Andrew, the Member of Parliament need have no fear that it is because of...
Welcome to the new people. Make sure y'all hit the like button when y'all coming in. This is a video of the exit speech, resignation speech in Parliament of the former Prime Minister, Mr. P.J. Patterson. I'm comparing errors. I'm going to play a video of the members of Parliament in Parliament just recently, where there was a budget debate to show you how different the decorum was. This is a packed room right here. All right, let's get it.
Of politics, it is reverting to those days when other persons on that side had no difficulty in occupying portions of my house while I was away and until I returned.
Yo, listen, man, this man has crazy bragging rights. What you heard what he said? Yo, he gave him a hook. He gave him a hook. You know what I'm saying? That one hit hard because, man, he was on a winning streak, and man, they thought they was doing something. He's like, listen, man, you already know this is my house. I built this. I'm Tony Montana. I'm the best thing, okay? Nobody is effing with me, okay? So understand your place, okay? Hey, that man is a bad man, man. I ain't lying, man. Yo, I gotta give him his... Hey, he did that. He did that. He did that for real. P.J. Patterson, oh yeah, he's a winner. He is a winner. He did that.
I understand. I fully understand. Mr. Speaker, He knows what I mean, and he knows why I said it.
See, he knows what I mean, and he knows why I said it. So he's like, hook shot, you know what I'm saying?
It was that brilliant Caribbean novelist and Nobel Prize laureate, V.S. Naipaul, who said that a politician is more than a man with a cause. He is driven by some little hurt, some little incompleteness. The true politician finds his skills and his completeness only in success. But for the privilege and opportunity to serve, Mr. Speaker, for nearly 40 years in the service of this country, in various capacities, in both houses of Parliament and on both sides of the House, and particularly the last 14 years as Prime Minister of Jamaica, I would like to give thanks to the Almighty and express my profound and abiding gratitude to the people of Jamaica for affording me this distinct privilege. My entry into politics began at school, but when I first entered active...
I want y'all to listen to this to show you how balanced things were back in the day. This part, very important. What he's talking about, his history in politics. Listen to this.
Political life. It was during my student days at the Mona campus of the University College of the West Indies. It was as a consequence of the visionary leadership of Norman Manley and the cherished values and ideals which were embodied in the principles of the party he founded.
He speaks English very well, so I'm sure all of you should understand what he's saying. Even though it's sped up, he speaks very slowly, so speeding it up, it almost sounds like he's speaking fast, but kind of normal fast, you know?
And I remember very well his acceptance speech back in January of 1955, when he declared that as Chief Minister, he was taking into his hands the case of the people of Jamaica before the bar of history against poverty and need, the case of my country for a better life and freedom in our land. That declaration of faith aroused in me a passion to serve and to recognize that as a people, we cannot stand on the side of indifference, oblivious of what separates right and wrong, good and evil, cruelty and compassion. For indifference is an end in itself from which no nation can hope to fulfill its tryst with destiny. I expect, Mr. Speaker, that the years I have spent in the service of this nation will one day be dispassionately and objectively analyzed. And whatever the final judgment upon my legacy, whatever the verdict of history, I will take comfort in the knowledge that in giving service to my fellow citizens, I have done so with a clean hand and a pure heart.
Man, listen, I think every politician should thrive for that. You know, nobody is perfect, but if you did your job with a clean hand and a clean heart, you could walk away saying, you know, damn, I made some mistakes. This was my intention. If people highlight those mistakes after I'm gone, hey, it is what it is. They're not telling any lies. They're telling the truth. But at least I did not wrong my people. And I can't say the same for a lot of the present parliamentarians. I think a lot of them hands are dirty. I think a lot of them hands is dripping in blood. I think a lot of them hands is dirty from, you know, soliciting our tax dollars. This is what I think. I can't prove none of this. I just believe it. I really believe it. And when you look at the investigations from the Integrity Commission that's going on, the illicit six, you know, the what you call it, the gag orders, you know, the not declaring your assets as the leader of the country, you know, all of these things are very sus, you know. So, hey, clean heart, pure mind, hey, integrity is everything, man.
Those many years in public life.
Recordings just got. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that local recordings are now
can be described as an odyssey. One in which I was a witness in and a participant later in many watershed events over this period. I remember well the crowning achievement of independence for Blessed Land in 1962, which symbolized a renewed spirit from which the hopes and aspirations of a people were to be fulfilled. Others, for reasons of their own, have averted any reference to the decade of the 70s. I cannot do so as I depart. In the 70s, I became intimately involved in that vanguard movement to rebuild the national spirit because it bespoke the cause of social justice, equality, and a better life for all Jamaicans.
You hear why? National stability rebuild. You hear what I'm saying? All right. Okay.
I believe we all had a sense of the urgency of the moment that after the first decade of independence, our generation was summoned to give substance to the fulfillment of the dreams and aspirations of the Jamaican people.
So he's outlining his purpose for being a politician. He was motivated from in the 70s, listening to, the politicians of old, because he mentioned independence was in 1962 for Jamaica, for those who don't know. And then after that, having our government, you had two cousins, two parties, and the message from each was different. There were similarities, but there were main differences that set them apart. And peace to you, Miss Chicago. I've been watching you all this time, but I had to unsubscribe from you for a few days just so I could get my notification. Oh, so that actually worked? I heard somebody was saying that, I think for Double Speaks, when I was listening, watching his stream the other day. I think it was yesterday. Somebody said they unsubscribed for a few days and then they subscribed again just to get their notifications. Well, to all of my supporters, man, hey, if that works, please go ahead and unsubscribe for a few days. Oh my God, go ahead, unsubscribe for a few days and come back. Lord have mercy. As a matter of fact, although it's very tempting for me to go live this weekend, oh, that was you? Although it's tempting for me to go live this weekend, I want to say I will not go live after today until Monday. Yes, I'll be doing a lot of editing. I will be posting video clips on Bolo Clips. So if you're not yet subbed up to my new channel, that's Bolo Clips. It's pinned in the comment section on both channels. Click that link, whether you want to sub up or you want to go and watch the new video that I have. Oh yeah, definitely. I know. I always put the subscriber only on it. Yeah. So if you did unsubscribe, you definitely can comment. So shout out. That is a fact. That is a fact, Miss Chicago. That is a fact.
One thing of which I'm certain, all of us in the 70s, led by Michael Norman Manley, were fully committed to the task of reconstructing the social and economic life of Jamaica.
You know.
Michael Manley. Norman Manley, my bad. Did he say Norman Manley? I don't want to. In the 70s.
Then was summoned to give substance to the fulfillment of the dreams and aspirations of the Jamaican people. One thing of which I'm certain, all of us in the 70s, led by Michael Norman Manley, were fully committed.
Oh, Michael Norman Manley. So he said that they were fully committed. Those gentlemen in the 70s were fully committed
to the task of reconstructing the social and economic life of Jamaica.
They were committed to reconstructing the social and economic life of Jamaica. Okay. I think I'm going to try and find if there's any documentary on Mr. PJ Patterson or just the PMP overall. You know what they have done, what mark have they made, negative or positive, on the Jamaican people and country, while they were in power. You know what I'm saying? And I want to do the same for the JLP, the good and the bad. Let's go.
You know, all of them. You see it to make people better. And it up to today.
That task still is continuing.
Thank you.
But it's a task which can only succeed if we as leaders understand our role as trustees, as servants of the people in whose hands rests the power to achieve.
To make people better. And it up to today.
That task still is continuing.
Thank you.
But it is a task which can only succeed if we as leaders understand our role as trustees, as servants of the people in whose hands rests the power to achieve.
Oh man, I'm muted again. Oh, let me play that back, man. I can't believe I'm muted, man. Man, I was dropping gems, man. Hold up, man. Damn.
It's continuing.
Thank you.
But it is a task which can only succeed if we as leaders understand our role as trustees, as servants of the people in whose hands rests the power to achieve.
So Mr. Patterson understood that the people of Jamaica are the people of any country. The power rests in their hands. You are a trustee. You are a servant of the people. And when you go in front of these delegations, these different groups, these deals that you make, you must ensure that whatever it is that you're doing as the leader, as the MP, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is you're doing, you should make sure that everything is to serve the people of the country, not your own selfish interest. Shout out to Kev's Butterfly. She said she listening from the bushes doing a little work. Salute. Right? So we can't have 6 illicit thieves in the parliament. That's enriching themselves. That is treasonous to the people of Jamaica. That is an act of treason because you're a trustee of the people. You are a servant of the people. All right? You're not better than the people. The people elected you into power. All right? So I think a lot of these politicians now need to humble themselves. We have a politician that had the audacity, Mr. Warmington, right? And I give him respect with a grain of salt, saying Mr. Warmington, because honestly, the way how he behaves, he deserves no respect. Honestly. But being professional, I would say Mr. Warmington. This man had the audacity to say, oh, PMP can't get my money. Huh? You mean taxpayers' money? How did it become your money? And a lot of people will say, what he said can be left up to interpretation. But guess what? I'm interpreting it how he said it. He said the PMP can't get his money because they lost that constituency, and he's the Minister of Works, and he rolls out the money to the MPs. So now he's saying they can't get his money, which is not really his money, it's our money, the taxpayers' money. This dude was fired or retired, right? And then for some strange reason, he said he was fired contrary to what the Prime Minister said. So there's a lie somewhere there. And then he was still in Parliament, and then he withdrew his resignation. And there is no protest from the people of Jamaica because allegedly people are afraid of this government. This is where we're at in Jamaica. A stark difference from what it was back in the day. We are at stage critical in Jamaica right now at this point in time. When people can verbally say that they're seriously afraid of speaking out because they and their family might lose their lives, what the hell is going on in Jamaica? Right? That we have a man that can say, oh, I'm not going to give the PMP. Isn't the PMP Jamaicans too? Aren't you, Mr. Warmington, a servant of all Jamaicans? That was a treasonous statement. He should have been fired. My goodness, charges should have been filed for making such an assertion. To suggest that the people's money, the taxpayers' money, is somehow your money because you were put in as a trustee, because you were put in as a servant of all Jamaican people. But you're going to say out of your mouth on TV that you're not going to give the PMP, they can't spend your money because you're the Minister of Works and as a matter of fact, This dude is allegedly a part of the oversight committee that allegedly undermines the Integrity Commission. And the Integrity Commission is the same commission that's investigating the 6 illicit thieves, right, that are allegedly in the leading government members of parliament. That's the side they're on. There's nobody on the PNP side that is being investigated at this point in time for illicit enrichment, right? So when you look at all of this, and you look at all the moving parts here in Jamaica that is happening right now, you know, it is a damn shame where we're at politically as a country. Our leaders are definitely not, in my opinion, they can't be trusted. They are definitely not acting as servants of the people, in my opinion, in full capacity. They're pretty much serving themselves. When you have tax dollars being paid to a government official, an active government official, to lease a building in St. Mary that is not occupied, right? 1 second, y'all. Right? When you have a elected official, right, that is a member of parliament that owns a building that's being leased by the government with our tax dollars, that is not occupied, and it's been leased for some years now. Millions and millions of Jamaican dollars has been put into the lease of the building and the renting of the building, right? Basically, for over that time, multiple hundreds of millions of dollars. And guess what? The building is not occupied, y'all. Where is the damn? We know where the money is going. Why is that happening? Why is the building unoccupied, meaning we're wasting money? The money could be put into better use, like fixing the roads, putting some beds in the hospitals. There is so much going on in Jamaica that's wrong, that need to be fixed. Those millions of dollars could go somewhere else constructively, right? And I'm sorry I've gone off on a tangent. You know, I'm very sorry, but I'm not, because when this happens, when I'm like this, there's just things that need to be said, because it really irritates me. It truly irritates me to see where we're at, and I think our people need to be reminded constantly, because it's like they seem to forget that these things are happening. It's like they've stuck their head in the sand and had their ass out, pause, getting their ass whooped by the government, and acting like they don't feel they bum burning. They don't feel that heat, right? Roasting their ass, right? Like they on a grill, dry heat killing them, right? These people are not acting as servants of the Jamaican people. They're not acting as trustees. They are acting to serve themselves, in my opinion. And it's treasonous, and I think they all need to be legally tapped on the shoulder and locked up. Whoever is doing it, I don't care what side they're on. Once they find them, lock them up. Charge them, process them, do the legalities, lock their ass up. As a matter of fact, there needs to be some type of legislation in place. There needs to be a special type of punishment for leaders or the highest level, the prime minister, the members of parliament, all of these people. There need to be a special, and I do mean special, type of punishment legally for these people that are caught, you know, enriching themselves with our hard tax dollars money that should be used for us and the benefit of the whole, and not put in their personal pockets. All right? If they're fined to do so, if they are caught doing so, and it's proven that they're doing so, right? They should get a special punishment. As a matter of fact, if there is an investigation against them, a legitimate claim of money missing that cannot be accounted for, until the money is accounted for, I believe that person should be stripped of their power immediately by law. By law, stripped of their power immediately, removed from office, and we proceed to go through the proper process of reinstating someone else that is actually qualified and has integrity. It's not about helping us, the people. It's about helping their people, helping their pockets. That's just my opinion. And I agree. Shout out to Tammy in the building. Salute to you, baby. What's going on with you? Hope you're doing well this Thursday. You know, it's Throwback Thursday, so I had to, do a throwback video for y'all. This is Jamaica throwback. This is not, KB video throwback. We going to switch up the throwback, right? But let's continue.
And this is why, Mr. Speaker, I have had no difficulty in my personal relations with members on either side of the aisle.
Bingo. Bingo. He's now, everything I just said, this is what matters. He's here to serve the people. So he doesn't have bad relationships with anybody on either side, because to have bad relationships with the members of parliament, your colleagues, in this capacity, it hurts the people, right? When this person and that person have bad blood between each other, when you have a woman that was a former runner speak to her own colleagues the way she did on a voice, which I will play. Listen, let me give you a snippet of what I'm talking about, good people. I'm going to find it, but let's continue with the video. Damn, what happened? Oh, my bad.
You hear that, Andrew? You hear? All right.
And for all of us, service requires a great deal of personal sacrifice.
Bingo! When you are a servant of anything, when you are a servant of the people, it requires sacrifice. You have to get out of your feelings, Mr. Andrew Holness. It's not about you. You're not the prize. The people are the prize. You understand what I'm saying? The people are the prize, not you. Please remember that.
And as I have had to deal with any matter in office, whether legislation or response to any request from a member of parliament, I use one simple litmus test. If you were not the prime minister and you made the request, how would you like to be treated?
Oh my God. I want y'all to listen to that, bro. That is a perfect, it's simple. Do unto others as you'd like them to do unto you. So his litmus test is saying, so this person came to me and they had a request and they asked me to do this. And then he's saying the way how he treats them is like, how would I want to be treated if I came with the same request? That is perfect leadership. That is perfect. That is being a servant. Because you're now serving your colleagues. So you're starting from the top. All right? You're serving at all capacity. Because when you treat your colleagues well, in the space of politics is going to help with getting things done for the service of the people. Shout out to Mr. Patterson. That was brilliant.
And if you answer that by saying, treat each member of parliament as you would like to be treated if you were not the prime minister, then you have a simple answer which determines how you deal with every member of this honorable house.
Man, listen, man. Oh my God. Can we get a round of applause in the chat? Can we get some fire emojis for that? If you're in the comment section watching the replay, Lord, I mean, seriously, did you hear what that man just said? And I'm not bigging him up. It's what he said I'm bigging up. It's not about him. It's about the message. It is about the message. All right? That's what it's about, the message itself. Don't watch the messenger. Watch the message. Is what he's saying true? Is it accurate? Does it make sense? Do you think that's the way that, they should be operating? Right? Is what we're saying.
You know what I'm saying? No business, you member of parliament. Then when you go to him, as the prime minister, he just asks himself, if he wasn't the prime minister and then he got to the prime minister, they want to be treated. So he treat everybody on an equal level. He do the foolishness, he do the foolishness. You hear them give themselves, and you see my turn now, happy sure. You see it, they must script for themselves. Yeah.
We have been involved in building a nation. And we mustn't forget that 40 years in the life of building a nation is a comparatively short period of time. And there's some things, Mr. Speaker, that we tend to take for granted. One of them is that truly in Jamaica, we have an expression of our motto, out of many, one people.
All right. I found the video. Let me play it real quick and then come back to what Mr. Patterson is saying. This is a minister of parliament, of government. All right. She's a former runner. All right. She used to run for Jamaica. All right. Juliet Cuthbert Flynn. She's a member of parliament. I want you guys to listen to a voice note of her communicating with her colleagues. A leaked voice note. And there seems to be a lot of leaked voice notes going out this year. Wow, just a lot of leaked voice notes. But listen to what she said here.
Chip and a clot. Me can't believe it. Una go get a shock on a life. Here, this.
Let me fucking tell you something. You go and
right off the bat. Let me effing tell you something, man. Let me turn down my music. Can y'all hear that good? Listen, man. I don't want no. Shout out to Hot Off the Press. Make sure y'all go sub up to her, check her out. That's the name of the channel, Hot Off the Press. Shout out to her, right? But listen to this voice note right here. Let me pause the music for a bit. Listen to this voice note. Let's go back.
Una go get a shock on a life.
Listen.
Here, this.
let me fucking tell you something. You go and you
Let me effing tell you something. Wow. Do that smile look like somebody that would be cursing like that? Man, you can't judge a book by its cover, but listen.
play this back to anybody in the Jamaica Labour Party.
And she said you could play this back to any person in the Jamaica Labour Party. Because what?
Fucking sick and tired of you.
Because she's effing sick and tired of the person. This is a colleague, somebody that she works with. Now, again, we are human beings. People can get on your nerves. But this lady doesn't sound like she is fit to be a servant, to be a trustee of the people of Jamaica when she can't even compartmentalize. Shout out to Miss Hakimi. That's her word. She can't compartmentalize and operate with her colleagues in such a way to have a good decorum for them to work more effectively. I know for me personally, I used to work for people, and one of the main reasons why I left a certain job years ago was because of how the supervisor or the manager of the kitchen spoke to me, right? As a man to another man, he did not speak to me with the proper respect, and I resigned immediately just because of the disrespect verbally. You understand what I'm saying? Because if he disrespected me in the street like that, as young as I was, I probably would have thrown hands, right? But in a job setting, I had to go, "Usa, calm down," and remove myself from the situation because I know how I was, right? I know how I was, and I'm not professing to be no tough guy, but everybody got their that last drop that overflows the bucket or the cup. You know what I'm saying? So I removed myself from that situation. Now imagine her speaking to this person like this, whoever it is. Do you think that's going to help them to perform their duties for the people of the country in a more effective way? The way how she's speaking to them. Let's play that again. And this is what they talk. This is what Mr. Patterson was talking about: the personal sacrifice it takes to be a trustee and to be a servant of the people. Listen to this.
Una go get a shock on a life here. This.
Let me fucking tell you something. You go and you play this back to anybody in the Jamaica Labour Party, because I'm fucking sick and tired of you. Okay? I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to fucking hear from you. I asked Chevron to choose a project. He's yet to choose a fucking project. Okay? I'm the one who told him that I'm going to give him paint and cement for somebody's house, to fix up somebody's house. Up to now, he hasn't come to me to tell me anything about King Weston and what he wants to do. He called me yesterday to tell me he wants ply and nail and some other stuff for this lady's house. He has not chosen a project. So don't come to me unless you know your fucking facts. Why don't you become the fucking MP? Since you know everything and you're the head cook and bottle washer for every fucking thing. Why don't you become the fucking MP then? Huh? Since you're the one delegating and telling me what I must do and how I must run things.
Wow.
You do it. Come and take my job then.
Wow.
Let me fucking tell you something. You go and you play this back to anybody in the Jamaica Labour Party. Because
wow. Do y'all see how you doing, Seaham? Do y'all hear the difference between the then members of parliament and how they the environment was, right? To now, and I'm talking on both sides of the spectrum. I'm talking about it was good on the PNP side and the JLP side. I'm not segregating the two, right? In terms of in the past, but in the present, I don't know what's going on in the present, but it's too much of this that I'm hearing. What we just heard, the verbal, the F-bombs, yo.
He called me yesterday, yet to choose a fucking project in the Jamaica Labour Party, because I'm
not glad. Me can't believe it. Una go get a shock on a life.
Listen.
Here, this.
Let me fucking tell you something. You go and you play this back to anybody in the Jamaica Labour Party, because I'm fucking sick and tired of you. Okay? I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to fucking hear from you.
Wow.
I asked Chevron to choose a project. He's yet to choose a fucking project.
She don't want to hear from him, all right? And she goes on to say, why don't you effing become the MP then, since you know so much? That's how she speaks to her colleagues? People that actually on the ground doing work? Allegedly? And she's so bold, she's like, you can go play to anybody in the jail. So she just don't care. I hope I made my point. Let's go back to a stark difference in communication by the Class Act, former leader of the People's National Party. Damn, I went back to this. Lord have mercy. Let's go back to Mr. PJ Patterson, man. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Let's continue.
And you may not understand how invaluable that is. But there are many places today which are rent with ethnic conflict and where divisions of race and religion are appearing to an extent which make it impossible to get unity of purpose and of action within the nation state.
So that's a fine point. That's why it's so important for you to deal with your colleagues in this space of politics where you are a trustee and a servant of the people, because there are so much different things ethnically, religiously, and otherwise that are forces there to divide us as people. So when you come into a space like the government of Jamaica, where our motto is out of many one people, you should embody the mentality of treating each and every one the way you want to be treated, so as to aid in the ease of making positive change for the people of Jamaica as a servant of the people of Jamaica. It's pretty simple. It's either you are speeding up the process with the way how you deal with your colleagues, or you're slowing down the process. And the audio I just played for you is definitely an audio that is an example of slowing down the process of serving the people of Jamaica. As an MP, I don't care who said it, anybody that's operating in government that speaks to each other like that, especially as a head, oh, you are killing the team. You are killing the morale of the team. You think somebody else is not hearing you speak to that person that way? You think that person is not saying, damn, that could have been me. She could be talking to me like that, or he could be talking to me like that if he was a male? You think that they have not formed opinions about you because of what you're saying to other people? I gotta wonder if these people are adults or kids. Like, don't they know how the world works? When you become a certain age, it should be apparent to you. You should come to the realization that certain things are just, it's this way and it's always going to be that way. Like the equation for that situation in life is one equation, and there's one result. You put in what you get out. You what you get out is what you put in. All right? So if you plant seeds of dissension amongst the ranks of the people that you work with, your colleagues, you're going to erode your effectiveness of making change. It's that simple. And sometimes the simplistic things in life is what we overlook, and it's what causes us failure in life. A simple discipline of remembering that do unto others as you'd like them do unto you, can mean the destruction of an entire nation. That small seed planted, however long, one day is going to become a tree that bears the fruit of dissension. And that fruit can be very bitter. That fruit can cause people's lives to be taken at some point of its maturity. Right? So really think about that, man.
And we must guard this reputation zealously.
People just stood up to the guy when they're like, yeah? We come up with the master sitting. I answer them too. Yes, man. We got them, man.
Mr. Speaker, I don't intend today to go through what we have achieved. I would simply say, among the most enduring is what we have done about our parliamentary system. We have opened it to make it more participatory, not just between both sides of the House, but also to allow a greater level of interface with the public and the citizens that we serve. I believe that we have expanded the foundations of governance by expanding opportunities through a governance.
I'm definitely going to take advantage of the public interfacing with the government because it's that time. Again, I think Jamaica is at a pivotal stage in our history that if we don't get things right, if we don't each play our part, if we don't allow ourselves to be guided by the force of nature, the creator, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, we're going to be in trouble. We're going to be in real trouble.
Structure, one which is inclusive, participatory, and robust.
Yes.
And we have built a sense of community and cooperation among the Jamaican people.
Yes.
We have had our difficulties, economic in some cases, and social in a number of areas. But I think insofar as the economy is concerned, we have laid the foundation for building an economy which is competitive with market forces. We have invested in our human capital and the infrastructure, and we are beginning to reap the dividends.
Tell us some of the things, man.
We have undertaken fundamental changes of our laws. The
Constitution rights. I don't know.
In all of this, we have managed to maintain the independence of our judicial system, totally insulated from political interference.
You hear? Him kept it totally independent from political interference. No, everything, Angelina, everything. The tell us it's different. See that they're independent from political interference. Now we're independent right now. The judge of my lackeys and yes, man. Lackeys, that's why I see them around up and down. Now we're no more. We have stopped that. Yeah, man.
We have kept it totally insulated from political interference.
You hear? Him kept it totally independent from political interference. No, everything.
For the security forces to do their work, but without undermining the fundamental precepts of our constitutional rights.
You hear that, though?
Ooh, okay. This is important. What he said there is important about, you know, the policies that they put in place to make sure that the security forces operate, but they don't undermine, or even the government doesn't undermine the constitutional rights. Now, a democracy is not a democracy without the respect and the reverence and the respect and the reverence to the Constitution. A democracy is not a democracy if it doesn't recognize that the Constitution is definitely the full and highest document that needs to be upheld. You understand what I'm saying? That's it, man. That's it right there.
You can't do them, but you cannot undermine the Constitution rights.
So in the recent situation with the DPP, you know, the allegations surrounding the DPP that she's somehow operating, it has to be O Speaks. She's somehow operating from home when she's legally, by Constitution, not the DPP anymore. That her best friend has been appointed as the acting DPP when there should not be an acting DPP because there's no the office is void, null and void of somebody that holds the office. They're going against all the constitutional laws, in my opinion, allegedly, if these things are true. So, you know, it's just all a big mess, man.
In all of this, we have managed to maintain the independence of our judicial system.
And independence of the judicial system. You're not independent right now. The judge of my lackeys and yes, man.
Yeah, the judicial system in Jamaica, listen, man, I'm going to tell you right now, that is one of the scariest places to be in court. Say, for instance, you're a witness. You know what I'm saying? To a certain crime. Being a witness to a crime in Jamaica is, I don't think, let me just say this. If you were to go into what they call in America, what they call it, when they protect the witness protection. Witness protection in Jamaica is a joke. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, a big, fat joke. Nobody trusts. I mean, nobody in Jamaica trusts if there's a witness protection program in Jamaica, and any Jamaican correct me if I'm wrong, I'm going to click this up. This part by itself, we're at the 1 hour and 15 minute mark. 1 hour, 15 minutes. Let me write that down real quick. Let me say this very clearly. And anybody can correct me. And if you agree with me, you agree with me. If you don't, it's all good. This is my opinion. In my opinion, I'm speaking for Jamaica right now. This is my opinion about how Jamaica feel. Any witness protection, if there is one in Jamaica, I don't think 70% or 80% of Jamaica trusts that they will be safe in witness protection in Jamaica. As a matter of fact, in America, witness protection can be compromised as well. So it's not like it's, you know what I'm saying? But here in Jamaica, it is so bad, in my opinion, that I believe that more than 80% of the people in Jamaica would not, and I mean would not, they would be terrified to be a part of a witness protection program. Man, do you know how many allegations of corrupt cops, soldiers, judges, you name it? Even the DPP name, the Director of Public Prosecution. If you go in the streets, you hear people have bad things to say about their personal experience or their family's personal experience dealing with the DPP. They have accused her of wrongfully putting people. As a matter of fact, the cartel case is the biggest one. That's most noticeable. Right? You guys, if you guys do any research on the cartel case and the appeal that happened the other day, you see why the case was sent back for retrial. Because of a lot of inconsistencies. Right? Allegedly, a juror was bribed. Like, listen, I'm just saying. The knowledge of it was there and they still went on with the case. Allegedly. But you can go verify this yourself. I just like to say allegedly just to cover my legal basis. Right? So, I mean, the legal system is definitely not independent. As a matter of fact, I'll go even a step further. The fact that the prime minister in the pandemic was called out by people, cursed out, and then police went to their houses, you could assume or come to the conclusion, whether it's true or not, that allegedly he made a call and those police acted. Allegedly. Because it looks sus. I tell you to do this with your mother, you're the prime minister of the country. I go to bed, the next thing I know, police knocking down my door, taking me out the house. I mean, I guess that case went to court, or a similar case, because there were many different cases, if I remember correctly, right? Like that, because people was frustrated with the pandemic, and Jamaican people cuss you out, no matter who you are. They'll cuss out the prime minister. They don't business who you be. They'll cuss you out. All right? Now, Americans aren't the only one that cuss. Black people are cussers, man. All right? We cuss. So they cussed him out, right? And they got personal with it. They talked about his mother. And police came to that man's house. Now, I don't agree. I said this before. I don't agree with telling the prime minister of any country or the president or anybody in those types of position, or anybody for that matter, even if you're a regular human being. I don't agree with people telling people about their mom. Leave the moms out of it. But again, it's freedom of speech, right? You're entitled to. You didn't commit a crime saying what he said to the prime minister. There's no law against that. But somehow police came to his house, locked that dude up, videotaped him, embarrassing, and then videotaped him, forcing him to apologize. The dude was crying. It was a mess. It was a mess, right? So with those, when you see those types of things happen, you're like, is the judicial system from the police on up, is it really independent of the government? Now, a police with a warrant should be able to come and lock the prime minister up with the proper documentation, of course, with the proper procedure. Yes, Mr. Prime Minister, you have the right to remain silent. You are under arrest for such and such and such. Please come with me. Boom. Right? You probably don't need, you probably, as a man of that power, you probably don't, your job should never be affected because you do that. You should not be worried that you won't have a job if you do that and you do the right thing and have the right documentation. The judge that signed the paper for that order to go out, based off whatever evidence they have against the prime minister, the judge should not be fired. But this is a real fear in Jamaica of the people. It's actually a real fear. I have so much work to do in terms of really going around and asking people certain questions regarding the government and how they feel about it. So you guys can see that I'm not just blowing steam. I'm not just saying shit. What I'm saying is real. All right, but let's continue.
Luckies, that's why I see them up and down. Now no more. We have to stop that. Yeah, man.
We have kept it totally insulated from political interference.
Yeah. Him kept it totally independent from political interference. No, everything, Angelina. Everything. The tell us it's different. See that I tell you, Listen again.
We have had our difficulties. Economic in some cases, and social in a number of areas. But I think insofar as the economy is concerned, we have laid the foundation for building an economy which is competitive with market forces. We have invested in our forces to do their work, but without undermining the fundamental precepts of our constitutional rights. Yeah. In all of this, we have managed to maintain the independence of our judicial system, and we have kept it totally insulated from political interference so as to allow justice to prevail.
Yeah. Justice now prevail now. Don't can't talk, that's what they must take and do one of them. Hear what them do. Give me verse them to any.
Mr. Speaker, others have mentioned in passing what has been done to our road network, to our tourism expansion, to our seaports. All of these are not ends in themselves, but catalysts for the economic development and social mobility which we seek for our country at this time.
The same economic, for the economic network and everything we make out and everything we matter. You start it right around with. You might be the best people part of the ideas. I'm going to talk about economic development.
Of course, the world we inherited 44 years ago when we became independent has changed inexorably. We are being challenged by some critical...
Inexorably. Damn. I just caught that. Inexorably. What? Wait. Inexorably. Damn. In a way that is impossible to stop or prevent. Inexorably. Damn, I've never heard that word before. See, just listen to this dude, man. I told you about this dude, man. Very articulate. Inexorably. Damn. Let me play that back for context.
Development and social mobility which we seek for our country at this time.
The same economic, for the economic network and everything we make out and everything we matter. You start it right around with. You might be the best people part of the ideas. I'm going to talk about economic development.
Of course, the world we inherited 44 years ago when we became independent has changed inexorably. We are being challenged by...
The world has changed inexorably, right? In a way that is impossible to stop or prevent. So the change in the world, they can't prevent it, so they have to change with it. Damn, that's tough. Shout out to Mr. Patterson.
By some critical imperatives in global trade that will affect the freedom we exercise over our affairs, primarily in the areas of international trade. One of the accomplishments about which I feel most proud is our determination to have ended our borrowing relationships with the International Monetary Fund when we did.
Now, This is very significant because we're going back. The PMP was responsible. I needed confirmation of this. The PMP was responsible for cutting off ties with the IMF, the International Monetary Fund. And that was a level of freedom that I believe was necessary for us as a people to move forward. And unfortunately, it is so unfortunate that the JLP decided to go back to the IMF to sign these agreements, in my opinion, that does not favor the people of Jamaica. Right? It's just, man, this is just lame, bro. I swear, bro.
People want to listen. Him, can say I got it up, and in the IMF thing. Tell them what it is. In it. You know who are it? Back in a Bruce cabinet.
Bruce, is it Bruce Golden? That's his name? Bruce? Yeah, they went back. Boy, they went back to the IMF. Boy, that was a bad move, boy.
And then go back and then mash it up. And then sister become fix it. And then they will not talk about, should do this. Them use PR and lies. That's a message the PMP have some people to read about these people. Them no good. You understand? In the IMF thing, play it back, listen again.
We are being challenged by some critical imperatives in global trade that will affect the freedom we exercise over our affairs, primarily in the areas of international trade. One of the accomplishments about which I feel most proud is our determination to have ended our borrowing relationships with the International Monetary Fund when we did, so that we could ourselves determine how we allocate our capital resources.
The IMF, borrowing from the IMF bothers me. It irritates me. And I don't see how it will ever benefit the Jamaican people in the long run. I really don't see how that is possible. And for Mr. Patterson to have ended their ties and paid off the IMF, I think that's a amazing feat. Because I don't know if you guys have been really listening to what I've been saying in regards to the political situation in Jamaica and what I hope for the country. But I've spoken about the IMF before, and just getting involved with marijuana, the amount of revenue that we could actually, accumulate, right? In a 5-year period, I believe it's going to be very easy for us to pay off the IMF and be done with them totally, so we can have an independent economy and stop borrowing. All right? The tax dollars is enough. Adding agriculture to the mix is also enough. Damn, there's so much wrong with the present government and how they operate and things. I mean, they're borrowing from the housing trust. They borrow 11 point something billion dollars already over a period of time. That money is supposed to go to the people to help them to have their own homes because they pay taxes to the housing trust. There's contributions to housing trust on every paycheck. And at some point, you're eligible for a certain amount of money to borrow from them to build a house or whatever that money can do. Now, the prices for a 2-bedroom house that the governments have been building, and saying that they're helping people to own their own homes. The 2-bedroom house is like $10 million Jamaican, but you can only get like $2 to $4 million to borrow from the housing trust. Like, what are we doing? It doesn't add up. So you're telling me that Jamaicans just never can afford to own their own home? And the reality in Jamaica is that a lot of family live together. Mom, sons, daughters. Sometimes even the man has kids staying in the same house. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the reality for a lot of people. I don't think unless it's captured land, I think that more than 50% of Jamaican people don't own their own homes. They're paying rent. Yeah, it's a reality. They don't, and a lot of them desire to own their own homes. And I'm talking legally. More than 50% of Jamaicans don't own their own home legally. There's a lot of capture land, meaning the land is there, it's open, and people just, hey, cut it out, build something. Next thing you know, a whole community is on that land. Now in Jamaica, you can't outright own land; you only can lease it. But I'm just saying, like, even in that regard, because it's not a landowner. You don't see landowner on the title of your land. All right. At any point, the government has the power to come and take that land from you. Whatever the value is, of course, you will be reimbursed. But the point of the matter is you will be moved if they say you have to move because they have whatever that they want to do with the land. This is the reality. You know, no Jamaican own land here. In America, I believe you can, but not here. Not here. So we're still under the colonial law, and this is why the system is put in place for us not to be independent. It's for us to always be dependent on an outside entity, to beg the government for this. The government is not acting, in my opinion, on behalf of the growth of the Jamaican people based off their action. This is the reality.
So can you imagine now? Them seconds now run good boy enough buy the money for IMF.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up in a half an hour time. Yep, definitely. We're coming to the end soon. You know what I mean?
And the money from them, you egg it. I come to the money to be here. But yes, them say now run good. Eh? And then go back to the IMF now. Not about the country again.
We have done a great deal in improving integrity within Parliament.
You mash up the integrity in the Parliament, sir.
One of the accomplishments about which I feel most proud is our determination to have ended our borrowing relationships with the International Monetary Fund, how we allocate our capital resources. We have done a great deal in improving integrity within Parliament, and perhaps the area where we have achieved most is in terms of electoral reform. Let us take note of the fact, Mr. Speaker, that the last election was the closest in recent history, not just only in terms of seats, but in terms of margins within constituencies. And there was such confidence in the electoral system that not one single election petition has been filed.
You hear this?
No, the difference now is that there's no confidence in the electoral proceedings at this point. There has been several petitions filed and active petitions, I believe, going on right now in regards to the seats and who won them and all of this. People still carrying people to court, and that's for the local government election. The general election has not come yet. Man, listen, we are in such a mess.
On the table of this House, the bill to create an electoral commission directly answerable to the people through a committee of Parliament. During my watch, that is not possible, but it will be done in, I'm sure, the next session of Parliament. I'm told that it actually has not been laid. It has been approved by Cabinet, and it will be formally.
I want to fast forward just a bit because I want to go to the next video. I want to fast forward and show you his exit. All right. I think we've documented, just great decor, and just the way how these people, in this time of governance in Jamaica, was actually operating and dealing with each other. And you heard from Mr. PJ
Past and present on both sides of the. In speaking of hemisphere, the developing smothered in doubt, and those who have served the nation in a variety of ways, we can vow to thee, our country, all earthly things above, entire and whole and perfect. The service of our love. God bless you all. God bless this Parliament, and may God abundantly bless Jamaica, land we love.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the motion be adopted. Those in favor? Those against? Ayes have it. Motion carried.
No, that's Mama Portia. That's Mama P right there, and she's affectionately known as Mama P by everybody. I mean JLP and PNP, because she was the darling of Edward Seaga, you know, in terms of politics. She was on the PNP side. She came on the PNP side, became the prime minister for, I think, a one term. You know what I'm saying? Or if I'm not mistaken. But she doesn't shake hands. All right. Miss Patterson hugs people. And I mean everybody. You don't matter who you could. Man, listen, that lady has such a damn. She's a people person. She's a doer. She's not the most intelligent in terms of articulating herself and those types of things. She's a strong black woman. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, she's loved. Portia Simpson Miller, man, she is loved and hated, because I think this is when Jamaican politics in her time started to go sour in terms of how they would actually deal with each other in Parliament. But it still wasn't that bad to what I'm about to show you right now. But just look at how they're actually greeting each other, greeting the resigning member of Parliament / Prime Minister, Mr. PJ Patterson. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is the opposing side. Look at this. And I'm gonna mute it because I want to talk through this. Right? Look at this. Look at this. That is Mr. Bruce. Right? I think that I know him. Yes. Right? He's going on every side, shaking all the hands, hugging. You know, you can see he has a relationship. It's not just talk. What he said before about dealing with everybody with the same level that he would want to be dealt with, you can see the genuine respect. Look at these people on the opposite side applauding this man on his exit. I'm telling you something. The exit of the Honorable Andrew Holness, I don't think it's going to be sweet. I don't think it's going to be as sweet as this. I don't think it's going to have this feel that we're seeing right now. Look at this. Right? Look at this. Look at this. I mean, the cheers, the applause on both ends of the floor. Let me just play it back a little bit so you can hear. Right? Look. Look. Come on, man. This is a man of class, bro. Look at that. Look at that. That is Mr. PJ Patterson. Now we're gonna go to the next video, and we're gonna go to a video of recent, just a month ago or so, when Mr. Mark Golden, the opposition, was giving his debate, coming to the end of his debate speech. Watch this.
In 2016, no less than 8 ministers have been forced to resign or been otherwise sanctioned for a range of serious breaches, and Jamaica continues to rank poorly on international corruption indices.
Fair use. This is hot water. Hot water. Is it hot water TV? Wait. Hot water. Yes. Fair use. Let me drop this link in the chat. Yeah, y'all can go check him out.
The move in 2020 to take away the chairmanship of most parliamentary committees from the opposition has weakened that mechanism of holding government to account. The maneuvers to delay the tabling of reports from the Auditor General and the Integrity Commission remains a contentious matter, especially since the legal opinion on which this delay is purportedly based has been withheld from parliamentarians and the wider public. When the former Speaker was forced to resign as a result of an Integrity Commission investigation, the move to replace her with the wife of the Prime Minister, so that the head of Parliament is now the spouse of the head of government, really does not sit well with the tradition that the Speaker must act independently.
No. Look at his face. Look at his face. Look at how, if eyes could kill somebody, right? The Prime Minister of the country, look at his face. The way how he's looking at the man for bringing up something that is a clear conflict of interest. He's bringing up a subject that the Jamaican people actually are concerned about, that we are talking about in the streets, that we are talking about in our little private spaces, in our little bars. You know what I'm saying? How can the Prime Minister of the country, his wife is the Speaker of the House? Man, PJ Patterson would not even dare. I don't think his wife was even a part of government. Right? I'm not saying it's an issue for her to be a part of government. I'm saying there's no way she should be the Speaker of the House. No way. Especially when we see where tabling reports take 2-3 months, half a year, 10 years. Like, things are, the effectiveness of the Speaker of the House is left to be desired. Let's just say that. Right? It's a lot of arguing back and forth. The same thing that Mr. Patterson said. Right? The relationship between the colleagues. Look at this man's face, man.
Government of the day. The speaker is intended to be independent and must act independent.
Now, you realize he's speaking, and because of the topic that he's actually bringing up, everybody is trying to shout over him. These things never used to happen in debates and speeches like at this level. And we're going to see how bad it's going to get. Listen.
That is the tradition.
Even the Prime Minister is interrupting the man in his speech as the leader of the country, instead of him telling his members of parliament to calm down, instead of him having class, to let him go. Even if you feel as if what he's saying is low, you're not a child. You are the leader of the country. You have to operate on a different level. Right? Because you're not serving yourself. This is him taking things personal. Look at his face. Saying, oh, that's low. Look at this. That is desperate. That is low. That's what he's saying. And he's packing up his stuff to walk out. Look at this shit. Saying that he's dirty. And the Speaker is supposed to get things back to where it's supposed to be. Right? And even the Speaker can't speak to them. Listen.
Members.
And these are grown adults. And for my people in this sector, some of them might be as bad as the egg body, y'all. Some of them might be as old as the egg body. It's a damn shame. Boy, I tell you. Look at him packing up his stuff, taking up, walking out. Look at this man. Because he talked about his wife. being the Speaker of the House. Look at him. That's him right here. Look at him. Walking out of Parliament because he talked about his wife being the Speaker of the House and how it was a conflict of interest. Look at this man. And as the leader goes, so does everybody else. The whole entire opposition is walking out of a budget debate. This has never happened in the history of Jamaican politics. This is disgraceful. This is the difference between the past politicians on both sides and the now politicians of 2024. And we wonder why Jamaica is the way it is. And we wonder why the youth are the way they are. We wonder why respect is almost non-existent in our society. You have young men that will challenge adults to the point where some adults would probably be in fear of their life because a lot of these young men are in gangs all around Jamaica, right? A lot of them are in gangs, right? Allegedly bringing guns to school, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a real terrible state that we're in. And I'm just showing you how it starts from the top. This is how no respect for each other. Look at this shit. Disgraceful. Look at this lady. Look at her. Look at her. Flashing her hands. Look at her. Disgraceful. Look at her. Look at him. Look at him. Look at them. Look at them. Look at them. Wow. Look at this. This girl. These are our representatives, y'all. My Jamaican people. Do you feel proud? Do you feel proud that these people represent you at the highest level? I mean, god damn. Look at this.
Identified.
Look at this.
So-called
no respect. No respect. None. Look at this. This is Everett Warmington. The man that said, right? The man that shouldn't even be in Parliament. Oh my God. The man that said, this is him. PMP won't get his money because he's the Minister of Works. Look at him. And watch this. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. A disgrace. Look at this lady. Man, I wish I had a full clip of this. Oh my God. This lady made a face before she stepped down there. Oh my God. Look at her. Look at her. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. The warmonger. The verbal warmonger. Look at him. This is who is representing us at the highest level. Bro, I am ashamed. I feel violated that this is the best crop of people that could be assembled. This is what 30% of Jamaica voted for, or less than 30%, because it was 30% of the whole Jamaica that voted for both sides of the parties, right? Only 30%. 15, 20%, whatever the case might be. This is what y'all voted for? Man, this is disgraceful, man. This is this. And I'm just showing you the difference. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. 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 So you see.
The failure to disclose the identity of the so-called illicit 6 MPs who are under investigation by the Integrity Commission for illicit enrichment.
Remember.
So he came back in there to let the Speaker of the House know that the speech has to stop. It can't happen because nobody's on that side. Because what the message that Mr. Mark Golding was putting out there, they didn't want out there to be published publicly. Mr. Mark Golding was reminding the people of the conflict of interest that the Prime Minister of the country's wife is the Speaker of the House. The duties of the Speaker of the House need somebody to be not biased towards any side of the party. And because she's the Prime Minister's wife, and because she's a minister of that side of the House, obviously there's a conflict of interest. We see the conflict with how the Prime Minister reacted when she was mentioned. It's his wife. It's natural. That's why she shouldn't be in the position. Because now nobody can critique her without them walking out and stopping the man's speech for his budget. This is the difference between the government officials back then in Patterson's time and them. Don't get it wrong. There have been heated arguments, but there was a certain level of respect and decorum, right? They know how to rebuttal the right way, the way that is of a standard of a leader. You understand what I'm saying? These politicians today, I don't know what their background is. Bro, I don't know who raised them. I don't know. But this is disgraceful. If this is the cream of the crop of the Jamaican people, I think I need to go sign up for a position somewhere. Real talk. Somebody told me in the comment section that I should go apply for the DPP. Shit. Hey, I'm gonna find out what's the qualifications. Because man, I think I made my point, man. That's my time. We're just under 2 hours. It's 6:19. Definitely glad I finished before a certain time because I got stuff to do. This has been Throwback Thursdays. Again, for those who don't have not yet subbed up to my new channel, let me just go and go on there real quick. All right. Let me go there real quick. Bolo clips. All right, so you guys can see for yourself on YouTube. I don't know what I was thinking. Oh, I'm on Google, baby. Woo! Yeah, I'm on Google. All right, boom. Share my screen. Bolo clips. Bam, bam, bam. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, there it is. That's the page right there, my good people. Make sure y'all go sub up. We got one video. All right. We got 10 subscribers. Woo! We got 8 more subscribers. So here we go. Make sure y'all go watch this video right here. All right. Go check it out. I've had enough of the rotten egg. Y'all know who I'm talking, that egg body. And I blasted her and her supporters and apologists in this clip. So make sure y'all go sub up and check this out. Check this clip out. Hit that notification bell and click all. Again, the links to this video is actually pinned at the top of the comment section. Yeah, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you kindly. All right. I'm gonna drop it once more. If you have not yet subbed up, make sure you go ahead and do so. Hey man, see y'all later. Shout out to the participation of C Ham, O Speaks, Tammy, Miss Chicago, Kev's Butterfly. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Bushwatcher. Shout out to CX. And Mob Only, salute my brother. I know this is a boring topic for some, but as I get older, I see why this is important. And it's best to do it, before it's too late. It's best to pay attention to this before it's too late. All right? That's my time. I'll definitely be dropping more videos coming up this weekend. That's all I will be doing. After today, I will not be going live. I'll be working behind the scenes, and I'll be posting uploads. All right? And I'll be posting shorts. All right? So look out for them. Look out for them. See y'all Monday, man. See y'all Monday, and see y'all in the chats. It's your brother Bolo VNR, and I'm out of here.